Have you ever felt adrift, pulled in 1,000 directions by a world of endless noise, your own inner stillness just a distant memory? This feeling, this quiet ache of being disconnected, is not a weakness. It is a compass. It is your spirit, calling you back from the storm and into the heart of your own being. It is a sign that you are ready for a deeper truth. I invite you to walk this path of seeing, to explore not the world outside, but the universe within. In my tradition, there is a teaching, not written in books of paper, but whispered from one heart to another through the generations. It speaks of a time before time, when the human spirit was whole. Imagine a great, placid lake, perfectly reflecting the sky. There was no separation, no universes. Communication was like the weather passing across this lake, a direct knowing, a felt presence. There was a harmony between the inner and outer worlds, a seamless dance, but a ripple was introduced from outside. The teaching speaks of forces that cast long shadows, forces that did not understand this unity and sought to reshape it. They took the still lake of humanity and cleaved it in two, creating two shores where before there was only one. And with this division, longing was born, need was born, the search for a missing half began. Then, they gave humanity the gift of words. But this gift held a shadow. Where once there was the clarity of a felt truth, now there was the potential for misinterpretation, for the tangled nets of language to obscure the heart's direct knowing. The clear water became clouded, and in that cloudiness, a new order was built. Humans were taught to look outside of themselves for guidance, to kneel before symbols of power, to build structures of hierarchy. This was designed to sever the quiet thread that connects each soul to its own source. The teaching warns that we have lived within this fog ever since. A gentle spell that keeps us divided, seeking and looking for our power everywhere except where it has always been within. More troubling still, the ancient wisdom tells us these forces feed on what is lost in this division. They draw sustenance not from our bodies, but from our energy, the energy of fear, of conflict, of endless wanting. They thrive in the chaos we mistake for life. These are not campfire stories. They are metaphors for a deep, energetic truth. We see echoes of this in the wisdom of many ancient paths. The Gnostics spoke of archons, who sought to keep the soul entangled in the material realm. In the East, they speak of energetic parasites that feed on low, vibrational emotions. The names change, but the shadow they point to is the same. The old masters say these forces never left. They simply became more subtle. They are the unseen current beneath the flow of modern life, hiding within the systems of power, the screens of distraction, and the relentless machinery of a world that profits from our spiritual slumber. And this pattern is not confined to a single land or a single story. Far across the sands, in another part of the world, a different people, the Dogon, also kept a sacred memory. They too spoke of teachers from the stars, but their myths also carried a warning of a path lost, a connection broken. On yet other continents, the Hopis spoke of celestial guides and cycles of forgetting. The Sumerians wrote of gods who shaped humanity not from love, but for labor. Could it be that all these ancient voices, separated by oceans and centuries, are remembering fragments of the same forgotten event? They are different rivers, all flowing from the same mountain source, telling of a time when humanity's path was diverted. The control simply changed its form. In place of ancient rituals, new systems arose. Dynasties and bloodlines claimed the right to rule, a purity that was more than symbolic. The methods evolved. They are not carried on the wind of spears, but in the currents of orchestrated crisis, of manufactured lack of a constant, simmering fear. For when a people are in a state of survival, angry, anxious, exhausted, their energy is scattered, their inner light dims, and a dimmed light is easy to guide. For a time, control came through the singular voice of mass media, which painted one picture of reality. But the most masterful tool is the newest one, a web of infinite mirrors we call social media. Here we offer up our attention freely. Our focus is fractured into 1,000 shards. We are sorted into tribes that cannot speak to one another. The goal is noise. The goal is distraction. The goal is a soul so exhausted by the outer storm it forgets the vast, peaceful sky within. This is how the slumber is maintained. A spirit divided from itself, a people divided from each other, are too busy fighting the shadows to notice the light. Yet, this knowledge is not meant to be a weight. It is not a cage. If you listen with your heart, it can be the very key that sets you free. Its purpose is not despair, but awakening. Understand this: you are living within a grand illusion, an energetic tapestry. And the moment you see the threads of the tapestry, you are no longer hopelessly entangled within it. You gain the power to choose. Perhaps you chose to be here, at this time, for this very lesson. When this thought truly lands in your heart, the outside world begins to lose its grip. You remember the silent, unshakable presence that you are beneath it all. And from that place, you can begin the real journey, to reclaim the energy that is yours and to free yourself from that which feeds on your forgetting. The greatest rebellion, then, is not to fight the world. It is to find your own wholeness. If the entire effort of these shadows is to separate, to fracture, to divide, then the most powerful spiritual act is to do the opposite, to unify. This is the practice. First, to gather the scattered fragments of your attention into a single, sovereign flame. Then, in a world that profits from division, to consciously choose unity, not only with those around you, but most importantly, within yourself. For the deepest wound they inflict is the one that separates your mind from your body, your heart from your spirit. When you begin to heal this inner division, when your body, mind, and spirit align and flow like a single river once more, everything changes. You return to your original state, a complete, conscious, and sovereign being. And in that stillness, you understand. The battle was never for your money or your land. The battle has always been for your spirit. And it is there, in that sacred inner space where no algorithm can enter and no empire can rule, that your true power resides, your indestructible connection to the source of all that is. So, you must return to the center. You must reclaim your energy. In a system designed to scatter and drain you, the path back is made of simple, powerful choices. The first is to disconnect, even for a moment each day, to turn off the machine that is built to fracture your focus. Return to that which is real. Bring consciousness to what you eat. A living diet nourishes not just the body, but stills the mind and brightens your energetic field. And this is not only about the food you ingest through your mouth, but what you feed your mind and your heart. Choose what you read, what you listen to, and where you place the sacred vessel of your attention. You are a creator. That which you nourish within, you will manifest without. Breathe. This simple act has been a core practice of the wise for millennia. To breathe with intention is to build a bridge from the noisy mind to the silent heart. It unblocks the flow of prana, the life force that animates all of creation, and allows it to move freely through you again. Meditate, not to escape the world, but to return to yourself. In the silence, you find a clarity that is not born of thinking, but of knowing. Move your body. Walk, stretch, dance. It is the temple of your consciousness. When it is stagnant, your energy also stagnates. Conscious movement awakens and grounds you. These are not new ideas. Nutrition, breath, meditation, presence. You have heard the words. But knowledge is a map, it is not the territory. The transformation happens not in the knowing, but in the as-doing, in the devoted daily practice. Step outside, touch the earth, listen to the wind. In nature, there are no masks, only truth. Nature deprograms you from the matrix of noise and returns you to the original rhythm of life. In these moments of quiet connection, you can finally ask the real question: am I acting from my center, from my own spirit, or from a program of fear, habit, and conditioning? This is the work. And this is the beginning of freedom, when you cease to react and begin to create from the quiet divinity within. Step by step, you take back what was always yours: the sovereignty of your attention, the integrity of your being, and the sacred fire that burns at your core. Thank you for walking this path with me. May this wisdom be a seed that finds fertile ground in your heart. Go in peace.